Good Friday morning, SLT Tribe. Thank you so very much for turning up and tuning in. Today is December 10th, 2021. It is 6:37 a.m. and this finally is your reveal. I'd like to apologize for it coming in so late. We had a storm come through yesterday. It knocked out the Wi-Fi. My friend called me and wanted to know if I would like to help her clean her work and decorate for Christmas, or a Christmas party they're having on Saturday. I said yes. I got tired, came home, took a hot shower, ate something, went to bed. So this is finally the reveal. Where this is posted, I have over 439 comments. And if you were able to help me let people know that the reveal will be posted at the bottom of the main thread, that would be kind of helpful. I can't post the link under everybody's name, or they will ban me from commenting. And it will take me days to comment. The link to the reveal is at the bottom of the main thread. So if there were volunteers that would like to help, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, my birthday is in 9 days. If you guys would like to make a contribution to the birthday fund, or send me a card, my address is in the comments, and contribution of a donation, which is not mandatory, can be sent to Venmo or PayPal, which is also in the comments section below. Also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, hitting the notification button, following, liking, sharing, commenting, sending me a friend request, joining my private page. All of it is so greatly appreciated. And thank you all for being on this journey with me. So without further ado, let's get to our reveal. See how this works. Yeah. Here we are with the much awaited reveal. So we have the past life purpose and message from or the spirit messages oracle. We are going to get started with the past life. Put these over here and see what the message is from the past life oracle. Everybody loves these cards. Absolutely loves getting readings from these, because it's so intriguing, I think, to maybe perhaps understand or find out what you, not we, but you, us maybe, were in a past life. So it revolves around a love life, I can tell you that. So perhaps you were having, or perhaps in your past life, you were in love. Well, I think we were all in love at one point or another, but how did that love, was it a tragic love? Was it a romantic love? Did you die young together? Medicine woman, forgiveness, and father. Okay. All right. So past life, medicine man or woman, so a tribal elder, father, forgiveness, love. So you know what I'm feeling really strongly here? I'm feeling that I do feel this, like looking at this, I see a relationship between two people who, it was a taboo relationship, right? And there was someone of authority who stopped this relationship from happening. And perhaps this person is now back in your life. I feel that, and I don't know if, the Native American, you were a Native American, the other person was a Caucasian, or Native American and a person of a different ethnicity or color. But I feel that the two of you were stripped apart by someone of authority, a father figure, and there was never that breach of forgiveness done. So you could possibly have father issues now. You and your father, you don't get along, you don't see eye to eye. There is this bone of contention. with father figures or people of um, parental authority, right? So, so then there's the forgiveness card, right? Just not allowing that cycle to continue anymore. You know, I know that for some of us, we dab into those past lives, and we, or, you know, or we have issues with people in this life, or um, things in this life, and you know, we ask ourselves where those problems or where those issues come from, because in our life now, we have never, you know, we've never had any situation that where we would have this negative feeling toward our father, or we, you know, we're not Native American, but we have a very close tie. It feels like to the Native American or indigenous tribes and their culture and their, you know, their lives throughout, you know, history. And we feel this overwhelming sense to really, you know, fight for their cause, make it our own cause. So I think that perhaps maybe in your past life, if you've chosen the past life deck, that you were in a relationship with someone, and it was a relationship that was looked down upon, and you were forced out of this relationship, or something happened to where it seems like now you have, you know, this bone of contention with your present day father that kind of bleeds over from like a past life, you know, forcing this relationship to end, or maybe forcing this relationship to end in a way that was heartbreaking, um, detrimental to very detrimental to the two people who were in love, to their life. Maybe one person lost their life over this relationship, and now there is this forgiveness that has to happen in this life. To, I mean, it's silly to say that, you know, forgiving someone from a past life through a situation that you can't change, you know, and some people would think it was silly to think that you have daddy issues or father issues, or issues in love, because, or issues even of forgiveness because of something that happened in a past life. But that energy carries over to, I believe, to who you are and how you relate with people today, and how you relate with um, relationships, forgiveness, how you interact with people. So if you were able to just write a letter or talk to your past ancestors or fathers and offer, you know, ask for that forgiveness, or say, I forgive you. Write that letter out. And if it's a heartbreaking letter and you feel the needs and desire to cry all the way through it, that's okay. You're releasing that energy. You know, I forgive you for tearing this relationship apart. I forgive you for being, you know, this cruel person who couldn't see, um, who couldn't see the love that, you know, we had for each other, and you felt the need to you know, destroy something that could have been, um, that could have made a difference, you know, or something like that. I mean, I can't tell you how to write it because I'm not in your shoes and I'm not feeling what you're feeling in regards to this reading, but um, yeah, so let's see what the life purpose is. I'm interested to see if you are a counselor, perhaps, maybe in this lifetime, um, or someone who works with people in broken relationships, a marriage counselor, someone of a, you know, music. So you could be a musician, connecting people through music. There goes that. A teacher of some sort. History teacher, maybe, perhaps. A teacher of music. writing. Well, this is interesting. Right. Talk about writing the letter. You could be a writer of music. You could be a teacher in a school, um, a writing teacher, a poet writing music. You could be a music teacher who teaches others to write. In this lifetime, one more card, please. Or this could be your life purpose. If you wanted to be a musician, a writer of music, a writer of lyrics. One more card, please. Look, it's like, no, you have enough cards. You have no more room. I'll give it one more turn, and then we'll move on, if no card flies out. All right, we have career change, and we have crystals. Okay, so you could be moving into a time from, in this present life purpose moment, you could be moving from a time of being a school teacher or a writer or a music career to a connection to spirituality, energy healing. But hey, here's the thing though, music can be very healing, and music can be very inspiring. When we meditate, we listen to the meditation music. I have it on in the background. Don't know if you can hear it. So you could be going from writing or teaching music in one format to writing and teaching music in another format that is more based on spirituality. So like meditation music, drums, Native American, indigenous music, the more along the lines of the drumming or percussion. Teaching, inspiring, helping others get past. Writing is a good way to get past trauma, as I was talking about writing the letter to your past self. That could be a way of healing as well. Teaching music, teaching writing, music school, career change, working with crystals, and I don't really want to say working with crystals and their healing energy, because that seems to go hand in hand with spirituality. So let's see what your message from Spirit is. A father's love. Look. A father's love for his son or daughter never dies. The strength gained from such love is often in that it can be tapped into any time or whatever reason. Whether your father is still here or past, a father's love is one of the strongest bonds any of us will experience. So I think it's interesting that the father's love came out with the father's past life card. So you can still have that connection from that father in a past life to the father you have in this life, or a father that has passed. So when I was talking earlier about having father issues in regards to perhaps a relationship that he intervened in a past life, and writing that letter of forgiveness, or talking about forgiveness, and and forgiving the father of the past life for what he had done to create how you feel about figures of authority in this life, if that makes sense. So I think it's interesting that the father card came out. We have ancestral wisdom. We are your ancestors. We love you. We walked the earth many years before you. We ask you at this poignant time to learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy, and we will keep on helping you, and we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. So the ancestral wisdom could relate very much to the medicine man or woman card. And just because you are not of native descent now doesn't mean you weren't part of native descent then. And they can still be those who walk with you in this lifetime. Serenity. The most important relationship you can have is with yourself. This is a time to honor, mature, and love yourself more by seeking out and removing any negative feelings and emotions that are left over from yesterday. Don't let past issues and resentments interfere with your serenity today. So we talked about writing that letter or speaking forgiveness of things that have happened in our past lives that have a tendency to cross over, that residual energy cross over into this lifetime. So learning or what's the word? What's that word? Acknowledging that ancestral wisdom, forgiving that father figure from past lives and the residual energy that has passed over, and having an abundant relationship with yourself, an abundance of love, of spirit, of honor, integrity, and going from the career change came forward. So going from being a teacher of, it could be a regular school, it could be a school for special needs, those who really need your assistance, could be a music school, but career changing from that to a time of working with crystals, working with energy, or perhaps keeping, because I think the two in some ways go hand in hand. So keeping the music, but focusing it in a way of more in regards to energy and healing through music and crystals than just being a teacher of music, if that makes sense. So if you've chosen deck number 1, which was the Past Life Oracle, this is your reading. Thank you so very much for allowing me to do this for you today. And now we are on to deck number 2. Have a great day. Bye. Good morning, deck 2. If you've chosen the Life Purpose, the green stone, deck 2, this is your reading. So you will not only be getting the Life Purpose deck, but you'll also be getting some from the past life and the messages from Spirit deck as well. So let's see what your deck has for you. This is the Life Purpose deck. Life Purpose deck. That card that flipped over was, it said builder. So you could be a creator, a builder. Sensitivity, infinite abundance. All right, so becoming more sensitive and making those changes in according to the sensitivity. Crystals. Higher connection to spirit. This can be your divine life purpose and you acquiring abundance from that. So you could be going through a spiritual transformation at this moment that is allowing you to create abundance and prosperity in many forms in regards to your ability to work with crystals, to heal, to read, all the clairs, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairessence, working with tarot cards, oracle cards, doing energy reading, past life, healing, long distance healing, hands-on healing, working candles, magic, manifesting. So You could be very sensitive to all of that, becoming more and more as you go higher and higher in your consciousness and your vibration, and that supporting you and you devoting yourself to it, this bringing in an infinite amount of abundance and prosperity for you. Time to decide what direction you want to go in and what your true heart desire is. What it is. What are you being guided to? What are you being guided to? I missed a word there. I apologize. Making a decision to what your true heart's desire is. Let's see. Is it working with spirituality, working with crystals, working with oracle, tarot, healing, mediumship work, psychic work, candle magic? Just the list can just go on and on. On and on and on. We need one more card, please. One more card. A jumper. We like jumpers, please. There we go. So school. Ah, okay. So it could be you deciding to go back to school to learn a new life purpose. It could be you going to school to learn massage. It could be you going to school to learn yoga. It could be you going to, and there are schools, Crystal, you know, where you can, they're all online. I've never looked for one where you can go to physically, but online, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. You can click on a button, just type in what you want. Learning about crystals, learning about herbs, learning about candle magic, learning about manifesting, learning about any kind of the clairs, learning about reading tarot, reading oracle, etc., etc., etc. You could all of that. So perhaps the time to decide is going back to school and furthering your education in regards to what it is that you desire to do in your field of sensitivity, in your field of working with your through your higher consciousness, and your fields of working with your ancestors and your guides, angels. So that is the life purpose deck. So let's see what your past life would have looked like. That one really wanted to jump out there, didn't it? It jumped and it flew back in the deck. If it's meant to be, it'll come out again. So we have Atlantis. We have leaving or travel, farming. I wonder if you left Atlantis to kind of explore the world. And you're a descendant from those Atlanteans. Knighthood and imprisonment and slavery. All right. Okay, so we have Atlantis. We have leaving or traveling. So traveling from or leaving the land of Atlantis to kind of go out into the world to search for other cultures, other lives, other people. You know, some people they find it quite comfortable staying close to home. Other people are explorers. They want to go out and adventure the world and find new things and do new things and become, you know, part of everything that is going on in the world. Perhaps you were a fighter of those less fortunate. Perhaps you were a fighter of those who were imprisoned or enslaved. Perhaps this was a time of turmoil and chaos, and you found yourself traveling to help others, or leaving some place to where you weren't imprisoned or enslaved, and you took it upon yourself to kind of fight for others. You know, be that brave, gallant knight who fought for the injustices of the world and fought for the right, and perhaps died for that as well. Perhaps in a past life you were a farmer. Now, Atlantis wasn't completely underwater. It wasn't a fish people. it was above water at some time before the earthquake or the tsunami or the volcano. So perhaps in that city of Atlantis, you were a farmer and you wanted to take, what you have learned from farming and just go out into the world. Perhaps that your desire to go out into the world took you to a place that wasn't as desirable as where you came from, and you were imprisoned or enslaved, and there was um, a revolt that that's where the knights come in, and they helped those who were imprisoned or enslaved escape. So let's see what the messages from Spirit. Forgiveness, intuitive nudges. So intuition is the language of the soul. We are all born aware with a profound sense of inner knowing. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts we possess, which keeps us connected to our higher selves, the universe, and our divine spirit. Healing, holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or even suffering your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest and most damaging of human emotions. The act of forgiveness on its own is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. So I think this goes with this, and I think this has a little bit something to do with this. I think if you were in your past lives a part of slavery or imprisoned for being different race, different religion, different ideals, didn't kind of conform to whatever society you found yourself in after leaving Atlantis, didn't conform to that, and that's why you were imprisoned or enslaved. And this day and time, you have a real hatred for uh, the man, quote unquote, the man. You have a real hatred for people who go out of their way to snub the ideals or different opinions of others. Perhaps you have this real hate or real disdain for people like that, because I think through our life we hold on to a little bit of residual energy from our past lives. And I think the forgiveness card for you talks all about perhaps maybe going through a time of forgiveness here. And it doesn't, and I know it may sound silly to some about, we about writing a letter or speaking out loud or doing a meditation of forgiving those from your past lives who have done you wrong. And in retrospect, in return, it helps you to get through and over the resentment that you hold onto. Some people are very passionate about, being heard and being valued. And if you weren't in a past life and you're still holding on to that energy, then you could have, as I was saying, a resentment toward people who don't value you now. People who only want to see you succeed to where they think you need to succeed and nothing more. And that is a form of imprisonment. That is a form of keeping somebody down. That is a form of I'm not going to go as far as to say slavery, but when you work in a business environment and you have those who are higher, are in the uppity status, they don't want to see people climb that ladder and to succeed and to improve their lives. So working in that kind of environment is like being imprisoned, because you're not able to use the abilities that you have learned through your not only the abilities you have learned through school, the abilities that you have learned through life lessons. You're not able to use those to climb that ladder. It's like the song, you know, 9 to 5. They'll always keep you down here. You'll continue to work and to work and to work and to work and to work, but you'll always be at a certain particular level because there are people who are above you who don't want to see you. You know, you can strive all day long, but if there are people who are against you, who desire to keep you down here, you know, imprisoned in this 9 to 5 bullshit that we think is real life, but it's truly not. It's truly not. It's just you grinding to try to be better when the people above you want to keep you down. So by stepping out of that mindset of that 9 to 5 bullshit and moving into a time of, you know, going back to school, furthering your education and starting your own thing, doing your own business and getting out there and really making your mark on the world instead of thinking this is it, this is all that's left, you know. So writing that letter to that past self, or writing that letter to the past life, you know, I forgive you for being ignorant. I forgive you for not seeing, you know, my worth when I came to this new city or this new town or this new culture, and you seeing me as something so different and as something so harmful that you imprisoned me and used me or sold me or and forgiving yourself for allowing it to have this much control over you, that you carry that hatred, you carry that disdain through these past lives. And perhaps what you are meant to learn in this life is that even though that past life was what it was, you have the ability to change that residual energy that you carry over. You have the ability to climb that corporate ladder. You have that ability to make something of yourself. You don't have to feel as someone who is imprisoned. You have the ability to fight for this different version of yourself, a version that has infinite abundance and infinite possibilities. You are not a slave to anyone. You are not imprisoned. You can walk out of your home and decide right then and there what you want to do, and as long as you put the focus and the work behind it, you could do anything. You could do anything. Your life is much different now than it was then. Strength. Strength comes from many sources: staying strong, confident, conviction, and a balanced body, mind, and soul. Spirit has its own unique and beautiful way of replenishing your soul with strength on a continual basis. You're never really alone, and we are always with you. And Spirit is saying, look, we are here to give you the strength that you need to forgive. We're here to give you the strength to walk out into this world and do whatever it is that you want to do. You are not a slave, or you are not imprisoned by anyone here. This is not the past life that you've come from. This is someplace new, and it's someplace different, and it's someplace with endless possibilities. And the only thing that's stopping you from going forth and creating and tapping into that endless possibilities is you in your own head. And Spirit is there with you. Forgive, move forward, have the strength to do so, and you can become such greatness. You can do such great things. So allow yourself to do that. Move out of that mindset from that past life and move into a mindset of, here I am capable of, and fill in the blank and go do it. Thank you so very much for allowing me to do this reading for you, deck number 2. I send you so much love and light. Bye. Good Friday morning, deck 3. This is Mary Elizabeth with your reveal. So we are going to start off with your deck, which is the Spirit Messages deck, and then we're going to use the Life Purpose and Past Life deck for you as well. So let's see what Spirit has to say to you today on this lovely, beautiful, cold, and rainy Friday. That's what it is here. All right, messages. All right, the first messages that we have is soul power. Always remember, you're a soul that comes with a body and not a body that comes with a soul. Your soul is your true essence, and you have unlimited supply of soul power at your command whenever you need it. So connection to spirit, connection to source. You have an unlimited abundance of it if you desire to use it. And spirit is there with you saying, here it is, here we are, let's do it. Caregiver, we are with you. And spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love you provide to others, especially at the end of their lives. Just as you received care and love at the start of your life, caregivers often focus all of their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in this process. So you could have been there when it could be your parents, grandparents, or if you work in an environment where you are the last person to be there with someone when they cross over. This card, this soul power, and this caregiver both go together by saying, your soul is your true essence, and we appreciate you for being there at the end of someone's life when their soul crosses over, and to love yourself as much as you love others, and that spirit on the other side recognizes your sacrifice, and what you do for being there, when, by holding the hand of those who do cross over. If you have lost a parent and you were there holding their hand when they cross over, they acknowledge. If a significant other one has passed and you were there holding their hand when they crossed over, they acknowledge. And they want you to know that they know the sacrifices that you have made for them. They know not only the sacrifices to their health, the sacrifices to your health for being there for them all the time whenever needed. And you were there, not only for them but for your own family and your job, and living your life, and then still making sure to be there for them and to care for them and to hold their hand and to make sure they weren't alone when they left this world. And spirit wants you to know that you are a true essence of this world, and your potential and your supply of that soul power, which keeps you in this perpetual state of wanting to be there and help others and show comfort to those who have passed or those who are ill, to take care of them. They recognize and they see you. And I think there is also a little message here of taking care of yourself in the in-between. We have synchronicities. Are you noticing the signs of synchronicity that the spirit world has been sending to you at this time? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they're being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific purpose, for a specific reason. It could be this person is coming in to show you your true gifts and your true power. Perhaps this person is coming in to kind of give you a recognition for the work that you do by helping others cross over, by being there for others who are sick and who are ill, as in a way of saying, because you did this for me, I am sending someone to you in your life that can really help you, bring you into a time of abundance and prosperity, or bring you into a time of helping you choose that life purpose or that life path, bringing you to a time of abundance, of prosperity, and connection to spirit. One more card, please. There we go. And then it's a child's love. The love between parent and a child is one of the most precious and deep connections we make during this time on earth. Children start out as part of us, and from their first cry, they establish themselves as the biggest part of the heart. So I'm kind of curious if you were the one who was at your parents' side when they crossed over, and because of that, you make yourself available to those who don't have family, who are so like working at a hospice. Um, you are the last point of contact that someone feels when they're about to, take their last breath and cross over. And it just feels like they are, to them, you are that child that um, that sometimes when, and it's difficult to say that sometimes when the old grow old and they're, about to die, their children kind of put them in these places, and, sometimes, not all the time, and then just forget about them. And they see you as that child, that one point of contact, even though they know you're not their child. You are, I guess I want to say, a sit-in for those, who didn't want to be there or who couldn't be there. Or you did hold the hand of your mother or father when they passed away, and they are bringing you messages to say, we see you, and we appreciate you, and we thank you. Moving on to the life purpose deck. Okay, Spirit, could you please toss us out a couple of cards? Just a couple cards, that would be so nice. Just one or two, there we go, thank you. So a speaker, so life purpose, you could be someone who who gets involved in speaking on behalf of the elderly, speaking on behalf of those who are unable to care for themselves. You could be an advocate for the elderly, for people who are passing over, for people who write out their last will and testaments or their last rites, and kind of make sure those go forward. I know that there is a job for that, that people who don't have family, and it's, they write out their wills, and you are the one who kind of brings those, words forward to the family, or speaking on behalf of the deceased, um, uh, speaking on behalf of children, speaking on behalf of past loved ones. You could be a psychic, a medium. An artiste. Anything artistic. I think speaking can be artistic, like poetry. An artist, someone who draws portraits of I know I keep going back to this, but I feel that that your life purpose kind of revolves around having to do with being there for people as they are dying, or getting words to people from their past loved ones. So an artist of there are psychic artists out there. There are psychic speakers out there. There are those who speak on behalf of those who have passed. And when I say psychic artists, there are people who connect with those who have passed through art, through paintings, through drawings. I don't know if anyone knows who Ed and Lorraine Warren were, but Ed, he started off sitting on the outside of people's houses that were haunted and drawing the house, and how they would get into the houses. And after Ed would draw it, Lorraine would go to the door and she would say, my husband is an artist and he wanted you to have this, and oh, he feels that your house may be you know, and so he was drawing these haunted houses, and Lorraine was going up to the door and presenting these people with these portraits, and they were going into the houses, and that's how they were able to do their investigation in the beginning, in the start of their career. So there are plenty of psychic artists. Your heart's desire. So this is pretty much saying you could do whatever you want to do. You are guided and protected. So be it a psychic artist or a real artist, not that psychic artists aren't real artists, but as in a real artist, I mean someone who paints and does art outside of the spiritual realm. So, you know, either eclectic art, modern art, vintage replicas, duplicate, that kind of thing. You could be desiring to be a speaker about art. One more card, please. Thank you. So yoga, we're doing yoga. So I think, you know, we have the heart's desire here, and I think there may be a little bit of uncertainty about a direction, and the yoga is just, you could be a yoga teacher. You could be helping those balanced chakras to better understand their connection to spirit and source, and to better seek out those synchronicities in their lives. Speaker, artist, heart's desire, yoga, life purpose deck. Let's go to the past life deck. For you, deck number 3. Yeah, you know what? Oh, shit, I should have said it. I was saying to myself, I have a feeling that this reading is going to be based on spirituality when we get to the past life deck. And here we have spirituality and religion. And I only say that because of the holding the hands of people who have passed. Perhaps maybe in a past life, you were someone who gave last rites, or you were a priest, or you were someone who prayed over the services. You were someone of authority in spirituality and or religion. And I say and or because I think them as separate. A baby. Baby. A mother. We talked about children's love here. We also talked about helping people cross over. Oh my gosh, look. All right, so we have mother, baby, father. You could have been a family who crossed over into the New World. From England or Europe, a family coming together. And you know the first thing that popped into my head, the first word that popped into my head when I saw the ship, the baby, the mother, the father, was the Titanic. How they were singing and praying when the ship went down. There were people there holding, you know, people's hands, praying and really making sure everybody made peace with their lives when the boat went down. The first thing I thought of was Titanic, mother, father, baby. So you could have been someone who was on the Titanic when it went down. Your family could have been someone who came over to the New World. Your father or mother could have been someone, well, father mainly, I guess, if you're coming into the New World. You never hear a lot about women when it comes to religion and spirituality and past lives. I was burned at the stake. I was burned alive for not conforming to the faith, which is why I have issues with religion today, I believe. So you could have been, your father could have been a spiritual man who by the law of the crown, came over to the New World to offer this religion to the heathens. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. Again, the Titanic reference. You could be someone of religion today. You could, if now, you could also be someone like me who kind of shies away from religion. I'm all about spirituality, and I think they are not one and the same. They're two completely different things. You could have been a person who was really big into religion, or you could have been a person who was really big into the spiritual arts, the communing with the dead, growing herbs. And these are all the things that you could have been killed over, right? Growing herbs, meditating, using herbs, folk remedies, not going to church, not wearing particular colors. So you kind of crazy and chaotic stuff like that. Those are the things that you can, not conforming to the faith, not wanting to pray. And in some cases in England, if you were seen, like when the Protestants were running the country, if you were seen holding a crucifix as like the Catholics did, you could have been killed for it. So a lot of chaotic, really crazy stuff happening. But your father could have been a very strict, religious person, and you could have been sent over to the New World to kind of, spread the word. And so you kind of are a little bit rebellious when it comes to religion, in this life. So, but really, I get a strong sense of either the Titanic or you coming over to this in a past life, coming over to the New World, from Europe. I don't want to say specifically England, but from Europe, and forming this religion that your father was so adamant about, and which is why the king sent him over. So your father could have been someone of very importance when it comes to religion, and was very strict on, your mother and your siblings and yourself, which is why you kind of shy away from religion and more to the spirituality aspects of things. So deck number 3, I hope this resonates. Let me know in the comments if it does. Thank you so very much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and have a great and wonderful day. Bye.